Oh, shucks. We are talking about oysters today. We're here in West Ocean City with Joe White of the Shrimp Boat. Have to talk about oysters today.
It's that time of year, right?
Especially because you have a huge weekend coming up.
We do. I mean, the oyster roast at the Parsonsburg Fire Department is this weekend, the 7th, 6 o'clock. We start feeding, and we're going to have some of what we're showing today, but also lots of other stuff like shrimp, sausages, oyster fritters, barbecue chicken, and of course the main star of the show is going to be oysters.
Look at that. And can people still get tickets?
They can. If they go to our Facebook page, we'll have the event up there, or they can go to Parsonsburg Fire Department Facebook page, and you can order your tickets online. You can buy them that day, but you'll save a few bucks if you order them online ahead of time.
I love saving some cash.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you mentioned that it's kind of that time of year. So for oysters, when is that time of year? How does that work?
The old school thought was that you're supposed to eat oysters in any month that had an R in it. So September to April, right? But that was before modern refrigeration and maybe some new farming techniques with oysters. Technically, like the oysters you see here, and we're gonna have salt oysters just like these. They are farm raised, but out in the wild. And one of the reasons they do that is so that you can control the growth. So like the smallest oyster you can sell or harvest legally is a 3-inch oyster. Okay. And that's, it's still a nice size oyster, right? But what we're looking for is this nice cup, okay? Yep. So in order to get this nice cup with all this growth, so that you don't get every oyster that's just long and grown out like this, is they're left in these big 70-pound baskets.
Really?
Oh yeah. And the farmers, so to speak, go out, they lift the baskets and they shake them, which knocks the growth plate off of the front end and forces the oyster to grow more upwards. It's slower, but you get a nice cup on the oysters, which is what we're looking for, the type of oysters we sell.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, now, and when they're open like this, when you've already, shucked them, how do I know is there gonna be a difference in taste? What's good? How does it look good?
Well, you want the taste to be a nice salty taste, but you don't want to taste like it's salt water necessarily. Okay. You hear stories of restaurants just going out and adding salt to this, and you don't need to. The oysters themselves will speak for themselves. But there's a couple things you do want to look for. The liquor, the juice, so to speak, should be clear, not foggy, but not really like completely clean. Like if you eat a dozen oysters and there's not like a little speck of something once in a while, then was it a washed oyster? Like
what was going on there?
Yeah, like it's too good to be true, right?
Exactly.
But if you look at this juice and you can't see through it, then I would eat something else.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
And well, depending on, you just showed me one that's kind of two different sizes. There's one that's a big one that's a smaller one. Is the taste gonna vary at all?
It won't, but if you have one that was, like if you get a completely wild-caught oyster, like if you go down and these aren't restaurant grade and they're just like full of mud and that sort of thing, and they're only grown out long and flat, there's not a lot of the juice, a lot of the flavor.
Gotcha.
So you want that nice cup so that you capture that flavor. Plus you want a pretty fat oyster in there. I mean, you don't want something that's so big that you can't eat it.
Right.
But at the same time, you don't want it to be empty either.
Yeah, I would like to taste something.
You do, right?
So here at the Shrimp Boat, what kinds of ways do you guys do oysters?
We almost always do them on the half shell, just like this.
Really?
Yeah, we will grill them. We get a few folks to grill them. But the oysters we're bringing in every day, I mean, they're made for eating raw, right on the half shell. We make our own cocktail sauce, or if somebody wants horseradish, whatever somebody wants. We have hot sauce too, but just plain in the shell's great.
That's awesome. And speaking, of course, the Shrimp Boat, you guys had a good holiday season.
We did. It was wonderful to see all of our regulars and that sort of thing come out, like for the holidays, Christmas and New Year's. For right now, our dine-in will be open again in March. We're doing party platters for football games, playoff games, and that sort of thing.
Perfect. So just, you still have something going on for a few months, and then you'll be right back open up again.
What we want to do is bridge that gap so people have a chance to have fresh seafood. One of the ways you could do it is come down to the oyster roast this weekend in Parsonsburg. But also, too, I mean, if you're going to host folks over for playoff games or just to have the family get together after the holidays, call us up. We'll meet you out here, and we'll have shrimp and that sort of thing.
Cool. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but after the break, Joe, you have some oyster lessons for me.
I want to show you how you can shuck oysters at home so that you don't hurt yourself and you can enjoy them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you don't need to do that this Saturday, but for the other days.
For the rest of it. Okay, perfect. I'm excited to learn. All right, so stick around. We'll be right back. You're watching DelmarvaLife, and we've had a nice oyster orientation today, and it is time to get cracking, right?
If you want to eat some, yeah.
I do want to eat some. And Joe White here of the Shrimp Boat, we're in your demo kitchen, which I love.
Thank you.
And so we're going to learn how to
We want to make sure you keep all your fingers.
Yeah.
No blood.
Love that.
And lots of nice oysters, right?
Love that for me.
So I'm going to show you how I feel like folks should do it at home. This isn't how we do it in the restaurant. We're professionals, but I'm going to show you how you could do it at home without hurting yourself. You just need a clean tea towel.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to put the oyster in. We're going to keep the bottom part out. Professional oyster shuckers can go from the front, but again at home, we're gonna actually start from the back, and you can see there is a little knot in there.
Yeah.
And our knife is gonna fit in there. And again, you're gonna use this towel for leverage and to protect your fingers.
Oh.
And once you pop it open, you're gonna just let the knife on the top just slide all the way. You're gonna keep it right up against that shell, which is going to break that piece of muscle there without getting too much of the other stuff on the inside, okay?
I can't believe how easy that looked.
Well,
you've been doing it a time or two.
And I like to cheat like this too, to be out, by the way. But the muscle on the bottom needs to be scraped off too, and it's just right there. So see that little piece of muscle right there?
Oh, gotcha.
And now it's your turn.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So got the tea towel, so that's important.
And I'll switch sides with you if you want.
Yeah, and you're definitely still going to be my
I'm going to make sure you don't get hurt.
Okay, so.
And then flip that towel right over.
I've got my little notch.
You got it?
And how deep, like?
So, yeah, you got it. So, when you stick it in there, just like that, you're just,
it's going to be a little,
You're just going to try to wiggle it down in there, and then you're going to almost want to pop.
Wiggling. Oh, yeah. Okay,
you got it. Okay.
All right. Okay. So now do I take the towel off?
Yeah, you can take the towel off.
So definitely got it a little loose.
And then we'll go ahead and wipe that little bit of shell off.
Right
right on the tip of your knife. Yeah. Okay. Then when you stick it under there, you're going to scrape the top.
Right to the stick to the.
Yeah, right.
Top of the shell here. I know I'm not a pro, Joe.
It's okay.
You are doing such a good job coaching me.
If you leave with a full stomach and all your fingers, you won.
That's it. Look at this.
There you go. And then just that little bit of muscle there.
Get that.
Very easy.
Ooh, okay, and then we still have...
Just underneath, so scoop underneath the oyster itself. And see how nice that cup is? And you got all that liquor in there? Like, that's the flavor right there.
There's the muscle right there.
Yeah, and oysters are high in protein, low in calories. I mean, they're not something you should really feel all that guilty about eating unless you're going to put, a lot of stuff on them.
Right.
I'm going to put some homemade cocktail sauce on mine.
So you
got it.
Nice.
Now, there is an easier way. There's an easier way. Saturday night, just come to the oyster roast, and we'll shuck some oysters for you, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe pour
How many do you think you're going to shuck that night?
We're going to go through about 35 to 40 bushels. We'll probably shuck a couple bushels raw. So.
And how many oysters come in a bushel?
About 200 to 250.
Wow.
Depends on how, if they're 3 inches, about 250. The 3.5, 4 inches, about 200.
Cool. So,
want to try one?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Oysters aren't like my favorite seafood, but I eat quite a few of them.
Really?
And, well, I gotta know what we're trying. I'm lucky. My nephew Hunter, who runs our wholesale, loves oysters, and so when we need a tester, he has always stepped up to the plate.
Hunter the tester.
He is, yeah.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. All right.
Now, you could tell that was a salty oyster, but it wasn't as if it was
delicious.
Just laid in salt, right?
Yeah, not at all.
It's a balance.
All right. Well, thank you so much for teaching us all things oysters today and teaching us our new little... I'd be curious if folks try this, if they try your towel method, let us know.
Please do.
Know if it works
and
out
if you
for
need anything else, call us, and all kinds of help with seafood, whether it's a good time of the year to eat oysters or other recipes that you might want, just reach out to us. We'll help you out.
Such a good guy. And go to the oyster roast. Get tickets, make it happen.
Yeah, come out, and if you have questions, call us here. I will help you get your tickets.
So, all right.
I'll see you Saturday night if you come.
Yeah. See Joe. All right. Thank you so much.